Hello, my name is Will, and welcome to the 1.85 second dev server. So I'm really excited right now. Last time when we were on the dev server, we went through all of the Italian tanks. This time we're going to do a quick brief overview of what has changed with the Italian tanks. I'm going to have a quick look. I don't know myself. This is the first time I've logged on the server. I'm also going to look at all the new stuff, and we're going to go maybe a little bit more in depth with that. I don't want this video to be too long. Last video was about 45 minutes. That's about the right mark for me, so let's just jump straight into this. So, first things first, in French aviation, it doesn't look like we have anything new, unexpected. Sorry, I didn't expect anything new is what I mean. Right. In the army tree, we finally have the AMX 10RC, still got the Tiger logo, 8.3 BR, 105mm Model F2 cannon with a 9.7 second reload, 8 degrees of gun depression, good turret traverse, no armor, fairly bad horsepower actually. Not a bad power to weight, considering it's... Oh, that's actually gone up since the stat card. Right, okay, that's quite significantly better actually. Yeah, that's not bad at all. And you've got a 350mm pen heat shell, that's quite nice, but the one that everyone's going to be using... Ooh, 325mm of pen at 8.3. That is really nice. Getting down here to 7.3 in this thing, you're going to feel like an absolute beast with a powerful 105mm on this kind of chassis. I think this is going to be a real terror of the battlefield. Now, I don't know if this is stabilized. It doesn't seem to be. I don't think it's stabilized, which could be an issue, but I think it's going to be a matter of getting yourself into a good position early game, using its 8 degrees of gun depression to poke over a ridgeline, only exposing the very tippy top of your turret, and getting some good shots down range. And the armor is aluminium alloy, which means that it's basically nothing. Even 65mm, if we go in here and grab the APDS shell, acts as basically nothing. So about half of what it says on the actual stat card. Aluminium alloy is really bad at protecting against kinetic shells, which is what most people are going to be shooting at you, and heat's going to hull break you because it's very light. In the army tree, we've got a lot of brand new Italian tanks to look forward to here. So, quite a few of these we've already gone through, but I'm going to have a quick look at these again. So, we now have this one. I think we've been through this. 47mm cannon, 6.5 second reload rate, 15 degrees of gun depression, fairly good turret traverse for this low of a tier. 39mm of penetration on that, 38mm of pen on that. This one is ballistic capped. Thank you in the comments for me. I just didn't notice this last time. Someone pointed out in the comments, this has better performance at angle. So as you can see, at 30 degrees, this one's 34, and this one's only 30mm of pen. Thank you for explaining that. I was very confused because I'm stupid. That's generally how this works. Then we got a second version of that. I'm not entirely sure what the difference is here. Definitely has a different camouflage. 180 horsepower, 13.6 tons. Looks pretty much identical. Stat cards are a little bit wrong, but doesn't really matter. Next, we have the M1441. Not sure if this was here before, but it seems to have the same 47mm cannon. A little bit more engine power. Yep, same shells. Then we've got the M1542. This one's got a proper stat card and everything. This looks like a slightly better 47, if I'm not wrong. At battle rating 2.0, the armor is not too bad for 2.0. Not great, though, by any stretch of the imaginations. Yeah, there we go. Better 47. 49mm of pen. 49mm of pen with the ballistic cap as well. Oh, wait, they're both ballistic capped. Okay, now I really don't understand what the advantage of the second shell over the first one is. I think they are identical in every single way, so we're just going to ignore that. It's still dev server. Everything is definitely up for change. There is nothing on this dev server which is set in stone. I want to remind everybody of that before we carry on. I don't think I expressed that enough in the last video, so I want to just get that out here. Now we have the 9053 M41M. So this is the tank I complained about the performance of last time. Now at BR 3.7 rather than 5.3 with the exact same shells. And this one with 520 grams of TNT mass. That is insane. And it looks like everything else is the same about this tank. 3.7 is a much better BR for a vehicle like that, and I can see where they're coming from with that now. Beretta 501, I don't think anything's changed about that. We now have an anti-tank guided missile vehicle. This is an M113 American chassis with a tow missile launcher with 10 ATGMs. That's not too bad. And a 50 cal on top for taking down aircraft or light vehicles like RU-251s if you get that situation. 70km/h top speed with a very good power to weight ratio and tracks, meaning it will probably reach that speed. You can upgrade to the ITO, which has an extra 200mm of penetration, but is a slightly slower projectile. But that doesn't really make a difference when you can get 200mm more penetration, which I think everybody's going to go for. So yeah, at 8.3 looks like a fairly decent ATGM vehicle. 13-second reload, certainly not the worst. Only 5 degrees of gun depression, but it's an ATGM, so that's not really a problem. And a fairly good turret traverse. Seems like this should be an alright ATGM vehicle for Italy. Certainly nothing extraordinary, but nothing bad by any stretch of the imagination. Now we have got... Oh, the Centauro Romor is now a higher BR than the automatic. Interesting. That is certainly interesting. This armor is now not 50mm thick, it's now only 30. And anything else has changed? I'm not too sure. Still... Ooh! I don't think it had that before. I do not think it had that before. Might be wrong, but that is a DM33 round with 447mm of APF SDS pen. Oh my lord! With the horsepower to ton of this thing and the top speed... Oh my god. This thing is going to be a beast. And is this stabilized? Oh, it is. Oh, it is. That is vertically stabilized. This thing is going to be a monster. I gotta get my hands on this. At 9.3 as well. Holy cow. This thing is way better than, like, the 9.7 Challenger. Other than that, anything else that's particularly changed? I'm not too sure. But we did go over these in quite a lot of detail last time, so I don't think too much will have changed. We can always check the penetrations on these rounds now, see if anything has changed here. 27's still the same. That's 39 and 38, same as the medium tanks had for a while. 32... 36, 100mm pen heat at 2.3. That is the little derpy gun, very nice. 3.0, 32, 36, 100mm of pen heat. Looks a bit weird. Looks like that might not quite be finished. It's a longer barrel gun, but it's firing the exact same AP pen. Yeah, looks like those ones aren't finished yet. These ones look more finished here. 64mm of pen, 120mm of heat pen, 105 at 3.3. That's not bad by any stretch of the imagination. AP shell obviously isn't going to be much use, but 120mm of pen with a heat shell really isn't bad, and with the frontal armor of this thing, you should be able to pull off a couple of bounces. 70mm is not bad, and there's this little 90mm, not sure what that is, I think it's just a hatch, which should help. Don't even know why there's a hatch there. I guess optics? Who knows? And we don't seem to have too many other changes. I'm going to check the AP... Ooh, APHE. 60mm of pen. Interesting. Oh my god! 60mm of pen with 662 grams of TNT equivalent. 662? What? And it's still got the 300... Oh my god. This thing is dirty. Oh, this thing is dirty. Imagine fighting like light vehicles. You'll just be able to switch over to one of these rounds super quick and just immediately nuke anything. You get the side of an Abrams or... Oh my god. Oh, 662. Okay. Ah! Sorry, that is just filthy. That's gonna be terrifying. Right. And I don't want to spend too long on the Italian tanks, so there's probably some things I missed. If you want, I can go more in depth with the Italian tanks at a later date, but right now we're going to look at some other things, because I did a whole video on the Italian tanks before, and I think we've been over most of the new stuff, I think. In Italian aviation, we now have, a pair of Junkers 87s, which we didn't have before. And these look like they have some... Oh my... I love that camo. I really love that camo. Yeah, just the normal kind of stuff you'd expect on a Junkers 87, minus the 1,000 kilogram bomb on the R2, which means it's only 1.7 rather than the German one, which is 2.0. Not a bad plane by any stretch of the imagination. Oh, and it's beautiful. The Junkers, they've done a really good job on the remodel of the Junkers they did, like, what was it, a year ago now? It does look beautiful. And we also get a D3, which doesn't carry the 1,000 kilogram bomb. I'm not sure if the German one did. But, once again, not as nice of a skin, but certainly not ugly. The Italians know how to make a good Stuka camouflage, apparently. Or is that Hungarian? That's not an Italian roundel, is it? Isn't that Hungarian? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. If anyone knows, please leave it in the comment section below. I'd be very interested to know where the hell that roundel's from. It's not Italy, I don't think. It's either Hungary or, like, Romania or something. One of those Balkan Axis nations. But yeah, they're fairly basic. They're just Junkers 87s. We've seen them before. At 3.7, very interestingly, we have the SM91. And this thing is the SO8000 of the Italian tree with a rear gunner. Now this thing obviously is going to be slow, heavy, bulky. It's not going to maneuver well, but it has, count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 frontally mounted, in the nose, MG151 cannons with 300 rounds per gun. That kind of firepower is unrivaled. The burst mass on this 3.7 aircraft is 8.27 kilograms a second. And that is with 151s. That is with the Mingeschuss round. Mingeschuss, I don't know how to pronounce it. And on top of that, you can bring 600 kilograms of bombs. So this thing might even have some, granted limited, but some use in ground battles. But the icing on the cake is that you get a rear-mounted 20mm 151. That is insane. You can easily one-shot planes on your tail. Easily. With this thing, provided they are in like this window behind the rear gunner here, because it can't face down at all, basically. It's also got a fairly limited side-to-side arc, as I was playing around with it before. I'm not going to taste this out. I'm not going to take it out on a test flight right now. I want to cut down on its time as much as possible. But if you want to see any videos more dedicated to any of the vehicles, I'm going to be doing as much stuff on this as I can, and I'm going to be hopefully doing videos on all the things that interest me. So let's get into this a bit more. And then we have a triple line of RE 2001s. I'm very excited for this. I've been waiting for this for a very long time. Seems like the BR has gone down from 3.3 for this one, and these are beautiful aircraft. Look at these things. I really like how these look. This one is armed with two 50 cals and two 7.7s. Not the best armament, but it's only 2.3, and it's, you know, an RE 2001. So I imagine it's extremely agile. And this one shouldn't be too slow, given that it is powered by you know, a fairly decent engine. So hopefully this is going to be a fairly decent plane. I've been looking forward to the Regain series, and it's slowly trickling out. I've got video in the works of the RE2000, so I'm just going to have to get some content of that. And maybe we can do the RE2001 as well. Maybe in the same video. Who knows? Then we've got the CB variant. I'm not entirely sure what the difference is. It looks a little bit slower. And yeah, I have no clue. Did the other one have this? It might not have the cooling. No, it did have that. I don't know the difference. They look very similar. But the last one is very different in that this one has a pair of wing-mounted 20mm 151s, granted with only 60 rounds per gun, but they're still 151s, a lot like in the 202 EC. And this should be a much more agile airframe than the 202 EC. So this should be a fairly potent 2.7 fighter. I imagine this thing's probably going to have performance kind of similar to the P40 in terms of energy retention being quite poor. Maybe it has better turn rate, but a worse, you know, top speed. We're just going to have to see. I'll probably devote a video to this thing as I'm very interested in this. But right now, as I say, not going to test fly any of these in this video. Moving on to Japan, I don't think we have anything in the air tree. Nope. But in the army tree, we have something very interesting indeed, and that is the Type 89, or what looks like a very Japanese, like M3 Bradley-esque thing, with some very thin armor on the front here, very, very thin, and obviously on the turret as well. Just no armor is basically what I'm trying to tell you. A pair of ATGM launchers. I imagine you'll be able to launch these one after the other, so if you miss your first shot, you can immediately follow up. A nearly 60 degrees a second turret rotation speed, 9 degrees of gun depression, 200 shots per minute, which really isn't bad. Not a bad reload rate between belts, I guess that is. An APHE shell with 68mm of pen, that's certainly not that bad. And an APDS round with 112mm of pen. That's pretty good. I can't see any faults with that. And the ATGM, 700mm of pen. Granted, it is very, very slow. Only 200 meters a second, but 700mm of pen, if you hit, is going to go through most of the things you see. But I think your main armament is going to be these, and certainly these. These are going to be super effective against the side of Abrams, XM1s, Challenger 1s, the new Italian OF40, the Leopard 1. Just blasting through the side of those with an APHE round is going to do a lot of damage, especially when you're firing 200 rounds a minute from a 35mm gun. That is going to be interesting to see how that performs. I do not have the tanks before this researched, because I really haven't done that much Japanese tanking. But hopefully at some point I'll be able to get this vehicle and show it off for you guys. But it's probably not anytime in the near future. Next, we're moving on to Britain, and we're going to first look at aviation. And we have the brand new Meteor F Mark 8 Reaper. This is exactly the same in performance, as far as I'm aware, as the Meteor 8 already in the game. However, it comes with the ability of mounting up to 24 RP3s, which is insane. And they're mounted in the middle. This is just ridiculous. This is going to be the air battles, like killing pillbox loadout. Absolutely beautiful. Or 4,000 pounds of bombs, meaning that this thing's basically just a Canberra at this point. Canberra B Mark 6, but better. Or 16 RP3s and 2 1,000 pound bombs, if you roll that way. And it comes with a flashy red camouflage, and if you don't like that, the standard aluminium camouflage that you get on the Meteor F8. But I don't know why you'd ever take the red off, really. The red's just beautiful. And now we have what I was fairly disappointed in the last dev server, but looks like it's had quite a few buffs here. Now I can't spade it for you guys. Obviously I'm not... Ooh, maybe we can, maybe we can. Now, I'm not going to be able to do this for all of the supersonic vehicles, but I'm going to do it for this one, because I'm British, and there's my bias showing. So let's see how much of this we can get spaded, not worrying about the guns at the moment. Because I was very disappointed with the performance of this on the previous dev server. However, it looks like we've had some tweaks to this. Top speed still below 1,000 kilometers an hour, which is very disappointing. The rate of climb seems a lot better, though. And it's only 9.0 now, rather than 9.7. So I'm interested to see how this thing's gonna perform. 9.0 with the fire streaks is certainly interesting. But we're gonna have to devote a video to this thing's actual flight. And take this thing out on a test flight. I'm not gonna do it right now. But there will be a video with this thing, and hopefully I won't be reusing my thumbnail I scrapped from another video that plainly stated that the Javelin was bad. Hopefully I don't have to reuse that. Hopefully they fixed it, and at 9.0 I'm pretty confident that's going to be the finishing touch for the Javelin, and with this flight model, hopefully it's going to be a beast again, just like I hoped, and I should enjoy flying out this vehicle just as much as I hoped. In the army tree, we also don't have too much apart from the Show T Cal Dalai, which is a Centurion modification from the Israelis with an upgraded 1,162 horsepower engine, which is very, very nice indeed for a Centurion. A 105mm cannon, which is just a modified L7, I'm pretty sure. 10 smoke grenades, certainly not bad. That's always nice to have. 2 50 cals and 2 FN Mag 7.62s. With a top speed of 54 kilometers an hour, not too great, but also not too bad. APF SDS with 385mm of pen is very nice indeed. Hesh at 127's probably not going to do you too well at 8.7, but certainly usable. And a heat shell with 400mm of pen isn't going to be too disappointing. As I say, there'll probably be a video going through and test driving a bunch of these things. Not going to do it right now. And on top of that, we also have the Challenger Mark III. Now, I'm quite disappointed with this vehicle. Honestly, it's not that much of an upgrade over the Challenger Mark I, which I was really hoping it would be at least somewhat better, but it seems to be pretty much identical. All the weak spots seem to still be there. The turret still seems slightly underwhelming. It seems better, but still slightly underwhelming. And we, as far as I'm aware, didn't get the upgraded round that I thought we were going to get with 430. We still have 415, which is very disappointing for a 9.7 tank, where you're going to be mostly using this thing at range, because if we go into the Russians here and get this round with 475... Oh, hello there. This has been changed. I take back what I said. This has definitely been changed. Okay, in the previous dev server, this was about 470 effective. Now it is 523. Is that the same as on the Challenger Mark II? Challenger Mark II, not Challenger Mark I, sorry. Let's have a look. If we grab USSR, P64B, APF SDS. It is. I do not think this was how it was before. I think they've buffed the turret. That is very nice to see. Obviously, you can still pen around the breach, but this turret face is now a monstrous... Ooh, that is very, very nice to see. Now, obviously, at this kind of angle, it's still going to be, pennable because it's a lot weaker because of the angling. But frontally, you just face your gun at the enemy. That is not going to get penned, even by things like the AMX-40 and the... Ooh, that's nice. Alright, I'm happy with that. I'm definitely happy with that. But, without any further ado, on to Russian aviation. So, we've only got the 2 new aircraft. The MiG-15 bis ISH. It's a MiG-15 bis. We all know what the MiG-15 bis is. But this thing has sexy rocket rails, which can mount... That's it, boys. We're done. Enough War Thunder for one lifetime. These were not in the dev server before. What are these? What on earth are these? 61 millimeters of penetration. Wow. Okay. Do these have air but? Right. Idea. Fly above Canberra. Above him. Rocket down. On Canberra. Kill Canberra. Kill flying level. Just saying. If you pull it off, I'd love to see that video. 8 of them. 8 of them. That is... Okay. That's... I don't need to show you anymore. You understand that vehicle now. And we also have the MiG-19 PT. I don't have this vehicle. I can't get this vehicle to test fly it for you right now. But it seems to have had its top speed increased. Still only gets the 2 guns and the 2 missiles with only 140 rounds. Everything seems fairly similar. Probably had some flight model improvements over the last dev server. Can't tell you exactly what's happened because I don't know. Nothing new in helicopters as far as I'm aware. And in Army, we have a couple new toys to look at. And when I say a couple new toys, I mean the one. The one new toy, and that is the T-72A, which looks to basically be not that great, is what I'm kind of gathering. 440 mil of pen, sure, that's not too bad. 9.3. But I don't think the protection on this thing's very good. We can grab here the 440, which is by no means an exceptional round. I mean, at 1,000 meters, what we looking at? Still penetration possibilities low, weak spot there, turrets pretty strong actually. Nothing's really going to pen that if it's at 1,000 meters, unless you're talking like the insane rounds. Yeah, no, I really can't fault that much. That seems to be fine. Yeah, no, looks like the armor is better than I thought it was. Yeah, this could be a good tank. Certainly could be a good tank. I'm not too sure about the mobility. It is fairly lackluster looking. But with a gun like that and armor like that, we shouldn't have too many issues. 7.1 second reload. And I am going to quickly test drive this just because I need to check one thing desperately to give you a proper review of this tank, whether this thing is going to be better than the T-64A at the same BR. And that is all down to the reload. Reverse rate. Right. I don't know. It might be. Or it might... Did the shell just eject? Shell ejection. Shell ejection. Alright. We got shell ejection. Why not? Why not? Alright. Well, there's the T-72 for you. It's got shell ejection. It's my review of it right there. You can quote me on that one. In Germany, we have no new planes. Nope. Looks like that Focke-Wulf that we found in the data mines may well be an event premium. Keep your eyes on that one. Helicopters, nothing new. Army, we have also got nothing new. Nothing there. Okay, on to America. We're actually going to start on ground because there's nothing here apart from the M3 Bradley. Never mind, there is something here. Sorry, I'm brain dead. M3 Bradley, less than the Japanese tank turret traverse, but still not bad by any stretch of the imagination. 25mm M242 cannon, loading 3mm of pen with its HE, and 110 with its APDS. Slightly better reload than the Japanese one, but a much quicker interclip. So it seems to be a pretty constant fire rate with this thing. Horsepower per tons, obviously very good. Top speed isn't quite as good. I think the mobility is going to be slightly better in terms of power to weight than the Japanese version. But overall, I think the Japanese vehicle is going to be a lot better. You only get... how many ATGM do you get? Just the 2? No, 6, I think. Those are ATGMs, right? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so 6 ATGMs of the toes, which are 630mm pen, which isn't too bad, and they're a little bit faster than the Japanese ones, nearly 300 meters a second. But I think the main round's going to be this 110mm pen APDS. But it doesn't have the APHE, it doesn't have the turret rotation speed, it doesn't have the caliber. I think the Japanese vehicle is going to be a lot better than the M3 Bradley. But it's nice to have, and it's definitely going to help out any American 8.0 loadout immensely, because a good mobile ATGM vehicle like this, with the ability to also deal with light vehicles on the side of MBTs, is always welcome in any tech tree. And in aviation, we've got the big one. We've got the F100D, now at 9.7, slightly lower than the MiG-19P, actually, which is interesting, with a lot of ammunition in these underslung 20 mils under the nose. Looks like it's had its top speed increase on the stat card, at least, which can carry 4 AIM-9Bs, Sidewinder missiles, 14 Hydras, 6,000 pounds worth of 750-pound bombs, 4,000-pound bombs, 14 Hydras, and 4 750-pound bombs, 2 bullpup missiles, or a pair of bullpups, and also 4 750-pound bombs. So very, very good ground striking capabilities for this, while also being supersonic and obviously having the ability to engage fighters with its cannons and the ability to get out of trouble very quickly, as it's fucking supersonic. I really don't need any explanation there. Everyone's seen videos on this. Don't need to test fly it for you. You know what it is. There's loads of videos on the internet. Slick, Fly, they'll all do better jobs at reviewing it than me, because I'm not that good at jets. And we have the F-86 F-35, the Skyblazers camouflage of what is basically, as far as I'm aware, an F-25. Don't know exactly what the differences are. Nothing special with the ground pounding loadout. Nothing special with the guns. Maybe a little bit more maneuverable on the F-25. Maybe a bit more like the F-40 in the Japanese tree. I'm not honestly sure. But it looks cool. So I'll give them that. And in fleet, we've got a couple of things to look at. We've got USS Rally, which is a brand new Omaha class cruiser. Oh, look, it's got winter lights all over it. Merry Christmas, everyone. Yeah, that's a nice touch. But yeah, it's just another Omaha. It's slightly higher BR than the existing Omaha, so probably got some advantages. I wouldn't know. I don't really play naval. So I'm just kind of skimming over this because I don't understand it. Something that does kind of excite me about naval is KMS Cone, which is a Königsberg-class cruiser with, some beautiful lights on there. This is a beautiful ship. I mean, the Germans had some beautiful light cruisers in World War II, and this is one of them. Not quite sure why Gaijin thought we needed this so early on. It does seem a lot more powerful than a lot of the other designs we have, but the Omaha should be able to compete with it fairly good. In USSR, we have the Krasny Krim, which is kind of like the Krasny Kavaz, but with these guns kind of one behind the other. It's kind of weird. And there's 15 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Where's the 15th? Where is the 15th? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. No, these are 100 mils. These are the 150s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There we go, yeah. Okay, that's a 100 mil. That's not a main caliber gun. Very weird gun layout on this ship. But, I mean, you've got 1,530mm guns. No one's complaining at that. Anyway, moving on to Britain, we have the HMS Dido. God bless the Royal Navy. Looking very swish with the holiday lights. Ooh. 5 twin 5.25-inch cannons. Wow, this is a sexy ship, and that super firing front. You're going to be able to unleash so much pain at people facing you at this angle. Oh, that is gorgeous. That is amazing. This thing, I'm thinking, is going to be an absolute monster just because of the amount of guns it has, the amount of firepower it can put out. That is crazy. Yeah, that thing's going to be a monster. Japan, still no fleet. And that is pretty much all of the vehicles that are going to be coming in 1.85, which are currently accessible on the dev server. Thank you so much for watching. This has been a very quick overview of the dev server. Just a quick rundown of all the vehicles. I will do more in-depth things on the channel, so if you want to see that, do subscribe so that you can see all of the upcoming videos. Plan on releasing more content. And just another huge thank you to everyone who saw my Italian tanks video. That video has exploded beyond my wildest dreams, so thank you so much, and I will see you next time. In the future. That's what I say. See you in the future. Goodbye!